Yeah, it may be a snow day here in Denver, but we are hard at work clearing the path for the Nuggets and Spurs here at Pepsi Center.
Well, someone's hard at work, and it's not you.
Not in my contract.
Well, I guess it's in mine.
Yes,
it's Nuggets and Spurs next on Altitude.
It is a beautiful 6-degree night at the Pepsi Center in downtown Denver. Tonight, the Nuggets welcoming in the San Antonio Spurs. Hi, everybody. Chris Marlowe and Scott Hastings. Well, after giving up over 120 points in each of the last 3 games, defense seems to be the big issue for the Mile High Crew. Scott, you were on one of the great defensive teams of all time, the Detroit Pistons. Can you take us through what the Pistons' thinking was? What's the defensive mindset?
Well, hopefully we're going to get to talk in a week or so a guy named Isaiah Thomas. So remember this conversation we're about to have right here. We had a little thing called tap, tap.
Tap, tap.
You want me to show you? Well, I better not. You got to work tonight. Let me just tell you what it means. You got to get tough. You got to get ready to go. Defense is not a soft backup kind of proposition. Yeah. You got to get up and be. You got to take the challenge that you're going to be the guy man on man, head to head, and get ready to go. You got to get ready to tap once in a while.
Well, let's see if the Nuggets bigs can do a little tap tonight. Nikola Jokic, Jusuf Nurkic. Offensively, these two guys have been very efficient and very good.
Well, the way they played the last 2 nights, starter, bench guy is probably what you need, and I think you're going to win a lot of games if you get it. Jokic's still the best passing big I've seen. He's been efficient with what he does, inside, outside. He's finished around the basket. He'll have to go against some pretty good guys tonight. We'll see what he does. And Nurk, listen, when Nurk just takes his time, when he slows the game down, when he's not rushing his shot, Nurk can be as good as he wants to be in this league.
Speaking of good, how about the bigs for the San Antonio Spurs? LaMarcus Aldridge, he's going to be an all-star again this year. And Pau Gasol, a former all-star, 2 of the craftiest bigs in the league.
Yeah, and they're very, very similar in what they do. They're both kind of finesse centers, if you will. Aldridge has gotten better in the last handful of years. They've got him down the block, but you forget about it. He stands out that mid-range. And Pau Gasol is another one of those guys, been a great mid-range guy. You forget that he's 7 foot, really, and he's got such a reach, and everything he does around the basket, he can finish.
Well, the point guard matchup should be fascinating. The youngster Emmanuel Mudiay and the veteran Tony Parker.
Well, I tell you what, and the way this league is playing right now, it really does, and I know it sometimes seems unfair, but it's how your point guard goes. Emmanuel Mudiay, when he's played good this year and has been on point, they're as tough and out as anybody. And when he plays consistent and solid, that's what they need from him. And Tony Parker, listen, the demise of the Spurs, they're 28-7. Every thought this year they're done. Duncan's gone, Parker's come out. Tony Parker's played great. Ginobili's been solid enough. These guys are still a tough out.
And by the way, they might have the best two-way player in the league. Kawhi Leonard averages 24 points per game, and he's the 2-time reigning Defensive Player of the Year.
I think the best two-way player forward, maybe other than LeBron in this league. LeBron's a good defensive player also and a better scorer, but Kawhi Leonard, dude, would you take him on your team?
Yeah. He's on the All-Aztec team. Yeah, we put him on there.
Second best
Second greatest San Diego State Aztec ever. All right, we're set and ready to go. You like that, don't you?
I do like that.
This guy's laughing. The Denver Nuggets and San Antonio Spurs. Let's go back to the studio now. Upstairs, Todd Romero. Todd. For the first time in 20 years, the San Antonio Spurs come to Denver without Tim Duncan on the roster. Timmy has ridden off into the sunset after a glorious Hall of Fame career. Yet the Spurs, without the big fundamental, are still riding high in the saddle. Tonight, the Nuggets have an outstanding opportunity. It's a test against one of the best. Yippee-ki-yay! Inside Pepsi Center, an anticipation game as the Denver Nuggets meet up with the San Antonio Spurs for the first time this season. Now time to welcome in the third member of our broadcast crew. She's Allie. Take it away.
well, Chris, Emmanuel Mudiay told me he's excited for the challenge that is guarding Tony Parker. He said, in fact, he's been watching countless hours of film throughout his years in the NBA, studying Tony Parker and his game, his ability to finish in the paint, and just his versatility as a whole. But Tony Parker's legacy, well, here's what he had to say about that.
He's definitely going to go down as a Hall of Famer. I think he has 4 or 5 championships. So what he's done for the league has definitely been incredible, especially for overseas guys, especially at the point guard position. So just somebody, to look up to and try to kind of imitate his footsteps.
And Chris and Scott, as you guys were saying in the pregame, tonight's going to be a great time for him to be able to learn on the fly. He's been watching Tony, and it's going to truly be the youngster versus the veteran.
Tony Parker from Bruges, Belgium, in his 16th year. And he'll go against the second-year man, Emmanuel Mudiay. Take a look forward starting lineups. A change for the Denver Nuggets tonight. Mudiay and Harris still in the backcourt with Nikola Jokic. Darrell Arthur is going to get the start at power forward, and he will guard LaMarcus Aldridge, we're told, and of course, Danilo Gallinari. Tony Parker and Danny Green, Pau Gasol, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Kawhi Leonard. So the Spurs at full strength tonight. Nuggets beat the Spurs last April right here, 102-98, but the Spurs rested for their regulars. So
yeah, but still part of that win with Golden State. The only team last year to beat both of those teams was Denver.
Exactly. So the Spurs will have it. Our officials tonight, Bill Kennedy, Steve Anderson, and Leroy Richardson. A post up for LaMarcus Aldridge. He's going to turn it to base, little fade away. That's good.
And that's such a delicate shot that he's developed, but I don't mind that, especially contested, because if he misses it, he's completely out of rebounding territory.
Nuggets 14-21. The loss to the Kings dropped the Nuggets into 10th in the West. Their percentage points back of 9th place Portland, 1 game behind 8th place Sacramento. And dumping it in is Nikola Jokic. Nice entry pass there.
Yeah, he got a switch out and Green on him over the top, and just the sense he knew that Aldridge was coming over, and he just flipped it over the top.
You're going to see a lot of pick and rolls tonight. Jokic hustles back to Gasol. Now Green on the cut. He's being guarded by Harris. Now Aldridge tried again. I think the Nuggets can live with him taking jump shots, Scott.
Contested jump shots.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not 3-pointers, but 2-pointers. Aldridge does have some 3-point range. Emmanuel Mudiay in the lane, and he hits.
And we've seen this before. I think Mudiay can get to that 8-10-foot area over Tony Parker. No fear of the shot block, and knock those down tonight.
Spurs are 28-7, second in the West, 2.5 games behind the 31-5 Golden State Warriors. Now Parker trying to get the screen, doesn't. Looks up, 6 on the clock. Aldridge going to take another shot on the pump fake. Oh, and he slams it through.
Now that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go for the head fake and let Aldridge get to the rim.
Nuggets 5-5 since the December 15th lineup change as Jokic hits again. Now Nikola Jokic, last 5 games, he has been playing outstanding basketball. Even longer back than that, but his last 5 spectacular. Over 20 points per game. Now the dump to Aldridge. He's covered up. Around the screen is Parker. Parker up and under. Aldridge, 5 on the clock, and he hits. Pretty good hustle by the Nuggets defense.
Yeah, and I will tell you what, they're going to still be okay. And Mike just say, good job, as long as the shots are contested.
Nuggets 6, Aldridge 6. Back cut, Harris. Oh! A spinning reverse. For Gary Harris, assist Jokic.
Great pass by Jokic, who had to just change the angle, and a magnificent finish by Harris.
First assist for Jokic. Now Tony Parker lets it fly. That's good.
Basket, Parker.
Tony Parker averaging about 11 points. He's averaging a career low in minutes at 25.5 as Harris tries to get by Green. Spurs, an excellent defensive team. We'll detail that as the night goes along. Now Mudiay in deep. Pass it out. Harris. A straight line. Dump it to Joker. And Joker drops it up and in. Another touch shot for Nikola Jokic. So Jokic 3 for 3. Nuggets are 5 for 5. Spurs missed one. So they're having some struggles offensively. Yeah, 4 or 5. Parker through the key. Picked up by Jokic. They size him up. Now they double Powell. Mid-double. Parker for 3. And Parker knocks it in.
Parker, in his career, not known as a great three-point shooter, but he is shooting at 40% this year. Almost like Jason Kidd did, got better as his career went on.
Spurs as a team, 41%. They are the NBA's leading three-point team. Jokic in the lane, and he gets another one. Nikola Jokic going to work, as he has in virtually every recent game.
Against some great bigs.
8 points, 4 for 4 for Nikola Jokic. Jokic on the season averaging just under 13 points per game and nearly 8 rebounds. Now Powell from the corner. That's good. Wow. Wow. And a timeout taken by head coach Michael Malone. I think he likes what he sees, but the Spurs are lighting it up. They've made 6 of 7. Meanwhile, the good guys have made 6 of 6. We take a timeout, Spurs by 1.
Said that Scott himself in the big crash.
There you go.
Just saying.
So the two teams have made 12 of 13 shots. Hot starts for 2 of them as the Spurs by 1. Now Harris brings back out to Arthur. He hits the 3 from long distance. Wow. Darrell Arthur, Scott, shooting a career high 51.5% from 3 before that shot right there. Lights out shooting. Now 13 of 14 for both teams. Gasol is a very good passer. Tries to set up Kawhi Leonard. He's been quiet so far. Leonard picked up by Jokic. Over the top he goes. And Gasol on his tiptoes.
Gallo got switched out, didn't really block him out. Gasol able to use that size. We showed that little highlight in the open and how Gasol will just walk you in and then use that 7-foot wingspan.
Well, Danny Green will take it out. 15-13 Nuggets. Moutier stays with Parker. Parker back out. Aldridge is wide open. And he missed one. Darrell Arthur the rebound. Malone starting Arthur tonight, figuring a better matchup on Aldridge right at the start.
Defensively it is.
Darrell, 2-pointer on the way. That's good. He's been shooting. Well, when he plays, he's been red hot. As Darrell Arthur has 5 quick points. Nuggets have their biggest lead of 4 at 17-13. Kawhi Leonard's got 3-point range now these days, and he knocks it in. Kawhi 40% from 3. And the Nuggets lead cut to 1. Spurs have such a wonderfully balanced lineup as Gallinari with the drive.
And he took it and tried to finish. Now here's where San Antonio changed up about 8 years ago. They got back into let's be a faster team also.
Nuggets have 10 points in the paint. Parker, who's always been very good around the basket, averaging 17.5 in his past 5 games after a slow start. Arthur to Moutier.
What a switch by Kawhi Leonard.
Underneath, yes, and a foul. Darrell Arthur, what a catch.
Yeah, he made a great decision, and Kawhi did a great job defensively switching it, but somehow Moutier jumps in the air and he just throws it over the top, and Kawhi was flat-footed. He's going to get the foul and DA the and 1. Sometimes good to be fortunate. You see the foul right there on the off arm, and he makes it and gets a 3-point opportunity because he used the left to finish.
Just the 3rd free throw by Darrell Arthur this year. He's 3 for 3. Nuggets have made all 10 shots to open it up here. Spurs have made 8 out of 11. Danny Green from the corner. That's good. Well, Danny Green has always been a terrific shooter. He's shooting 46% from 3 this year. Grew up in New York and played 4 years at North Carolina. So you get a look at the red-hot shooting. Back cut, and it's off the Spurs out of bounds.
Well, and also, not only are you looking at 10 for 10, 9 of 12, neither team has turned it over.
Now Danny Green goes out, and Manu Ginobili comes in. Manu did not play in any of the 4 games last season. 3 he sat out because of rest, and 1 he was injured. So a rare chance to see Manu Ginobili. Gallinari trying to get away from Kawhi Leonard. As we mentioned, the 2-time reigning Defensive Player of the Year, trying to slide it underneath to Jokic.
Good job by Parker, who doesn't quit on the play, and that's just a smart defensive play, and Denver's got 0.5 of a second.
0.5. Got to be a quick catch and shoot or a tap. Jokic puts it up. No.
Oh, and he gets fouled. Aldridge got his hand in the cookie jar. Yoke knew the time, and so when he got it, he just threw it up to the basket. And with 0.5 of a second left, he's going to get free throws. Watch him, steps out, he gets the switch, and you see the hand in the push. They switched, and once he saw the switch, he just dove right to the rim. Automatically, that switch guy's on his hip.
Jokic free throw good. Nuggets have been a bit of a paradox recently. They've scored 100 or more in 10 straight, but they've given up 100 or more in 12 consecutive games. Jokic looking for his 10th point now, as Wilson Chandler set to come in.
Delay of game warning.
Since the lineup shakeup, it's averaging 115, but giving up 114 and a half. That's what prompted Michael Malone to say the other night, we have the worst defense in the league. And Jokic makes 2. 0.5 of a second on the shot clock, Scott. The Nuggets get 2 out of it. Now into the game is Dwayne Dedmon, 27-year-old veteran from USC.
Now, let's see, San Antonio's really shoot the ball well, but Denver 10 for 10.
Now Moutier in the lane, will fall away, going to come up short. Jokic there, and he gets fouled again. Nikola Jokic doing some damage. We had a chance to talk to the color analyst for the Spurs, Sean Elliott. He was asking, well, what's new with the Nuggets? We said, Nikola Jokic, keep your eye on him.
Well, we said that Denver right now has a franchise guy, and I hope I'm not overstating it. I don't mean to. I think he is.
We talked about the last 5 games for Jokic, just under 21. Look at the field goal percentage at 59%, nearly 6 assists.
Yeah. And that 59%, that's not like all layups. I mean, he's nifty around the basket, and we've seen that tonight, but a lot of J's in that as he misses a free throw.
Here's a good look at Sean Elliott on the broadcast tonight for the San Antonio Spurs. Of course, a very good player in his own right. First at Arizona and for the Spurs. And Gallinari is lured into a foul on Kawhi Leonard.
Well, Gallo's got his hands on his hip, and so Kawhi knew he had nowhere to go. He actually did the good old head shake, got the call.
Kawhi Leonard just 3 points so far in his 8 minutes. Patty Mills is on, a very gifted shooter and scorer. Now Aldridge coming in, they double. Over to Leonard, and Harris got there late, but it's a miss. Jokic has it, outlet Gallinari. Nuggets leading by a couple here. Gallinari's going to try to back in on Ginobili. Here he comes, and another foul. So the Nuggets are doing a pretty good job of drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line.
Well, I thought he got fouled first time by Ginobili, and he doesn't get a call right there. See the grab of the arm. Ginobili goes backwards, and then all of a sudden Patty Mills comes over, gets a hand in.
Gallinari free throw good. Now Jameer Nelson will come on, and he'll replace Moutier. Gallinari. You see Simmons ready to come in. Very talented player. Gallinari at 88.5% at the free throw line. I mentioned the other night he had 12 games where he hadn't missed a free throw. Now he's at 13 games after going 4 for 4 against the Kings. He also had 24 points in that game, made 8 for 12. Gallinari scoring well. The Nuggets lead by 4. 6 of 7 already. San Antonio on the schneid. Ginobili, dribble drive, and he lays it in.
See, that's the on ball that you're talking about defense. It can't just be straight drives from the three-point line, top of the key, to the rim.
Into the lane, Jokic, he missed one. And it's out of bounds off Jokic.
Just a little, really just kind of comes to the ball and then trail just a little bit.
Good wrestling going on inside. They're letting him play, which is good for Jokic. Now Aldridge already with 6 points. Harris doubles. Ginobili. That's short. And Gallinari on the weak side. So they're getting some double teaming in, Scott. And it seems to be working so far. In the lane, no. Jokic taps it to himself. Swing it. Gary Harris. And Chandler travels. So a timeout call. 2:50 to go, first quarter. Nuggets leading the Spurs by 2.
To lead the Spurs 27-25. You notice something different about San Antonio tonight? They don't have Tim Duncan in the building. It's been 20 years since Tim Duncan was not a member of the Spurs here against the Nuggets. In fact, look at the before and after with Tim Duncan in San Antonio. It's amazing. Duncan actually played his NBA debut game against the Nuggets on October 31st, 1997. So tonight, Stevenson trivia question. Who was the leading scorer for the Nuggets the last time they played the Spurs without Tim Duncan on the roster? Who would that be? Is it McDyess, Ellis, or Dale Ellis? Guess, please. Sean Elliott, by the way, was on that San Antonio team, and now, well, he does what Scott Hastings does, except he's got 2 earpieces. Scott only uses 1.
That's odd. I noticed that. Why would he have 2 earpieces?
Because it blocks out all ambient sound in arenas, and you can hear better.
That's a good point. Patty Mills, 3 ball on the way, no. Nuggets trying to clear. Yusuf Nurkic has come on for Nikola Jokic. Jokic outstanding, made 4 out of 5, 11 points. See if the Nuggets can keep it up with the second unit here. Aldridge is still in. He's out on Jameer Nelson. Now Wilson Chandler's got the matchup. Good setup. Gallinari wide open 3. Off the heel, too strong. Rebound Ginobili. Ginobili 39 years old now. His 15th year. Been played for a long time overseas before coming to the United States. Aldridge. And Aldridge knocks it in.
Yeah, when he came in the league from Texas, he was one of those guys like, who is this guy? And all he did was stay perimeter. He's developed a little post game, albeit his best move is the jump shot. But he's always been a great touch with the basketball.
About 8 so far. He had his career high 44-point game against the Nuggets back in 2014. Nurkic off the glass. Well done.
He thought he got fouled by Aldridge when he came in. He just does that unorthodox turn baseline and shoot with the inside hand.
Yeah, he likes that now as the Nuggets are +6 in the paint. Patty Mills rattles out. Nurkic has it. Nurk coming off a good game Tuesday offensively. 16 points, 6 rebounds, made 6 of 8 shots. See him go right back in there. Instead to Gallinari. Come underneath. Yes!
The big players have not been the problem. And I tell you what, passing the basketball has not been the problem. They have been an unselfish team. The problem is on this end of the floor.
Both teams assisting well. Now Simmons, he is a live wire. Ginobili has a tough shot, and he's off the mark. Ginobili from 3-point land, 41%. Everybody on the Spurs just shooting daggers. Now Jameer Nelson into the corner, wide open is Chandler. That's no good. And the rebound, LaMarcus Aldridge. LaMarcus from Dallas, Texas, played at the University of Texas. Will Barton's got it. Here he comes. And there it goes.
Little lazy pass outside to the wing, and Will Barton read it.
So the Nuggets have their biggest lead of 6. They've got 15 seconds remaining here. Ginobili's got it. He'd like to go left. And Barton takes the foul, so the Nuggets had 1 to give. Now Jamal Murray will come on for Denver and replace Gallinari. 12 minutes for Gallo. He's got 6 points on 2 of 4 shooting. A couple of free throws. And Kawhi Leonard back in. Jamal Murray will cover Ginobili. Jamal's first look at the San Antonio Spurs in his pro career. Now Kawhi Leonard, 4 to shoot. Kawhi fade away. Good.
This is tough, isn't it?
Yeah. 6 left, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. Nikola Jokic, big man on campus for Denver. He has 11. LaMarcus Aldridge with 8. Tony Parker with 9. We're at the first break. Nuggets lead it 33-29. You're watching Altitude Sports. your home for Nuggets basketball all season long. Colorado at the Pepsi Center. I'm Chris Marlowe with Scott Hastings. Ali Sturm is here. Vic Lombardi on the premises. All hands on deck for the Nuggets and the Spurs. The Nuggets playing a pretty good first quarter. Let's take a look at the Mountain Dew first quarter stats as Barton drives in. Both teams shot great.
Yeah, I'd like to have a bigger lead with shooting 72%. Will Barton missing a layup and Nurk just missed time in a tip-in.
Trying to play through Pau Gasol. Now Ginobili over the top. He got it. Manu Ginobili, of course, from Argentina. The second-round pick back in 1999, but 57 overall. As Nurkic inside.
When he gets deep inside and takes his time, finds the basket, he's tough.
He's been very patient in the last 3 games, Scott. With 20 points in the paint as Gasol goes over the top and knocks it in. Can't sleep on Gasol, a very good mid-range shooter. Spurs the best mid-range shooting team in the league, we can tell you that. As Jameer Nelson tries for 3, missed it.
Yeah, they're a little bit the anti-analytics. I mean, they can make threes and they're a good three-point shooting team too, but they're, what, 30th in the league in points in paint, 29th.
It's got to be a foul, doesn't it? Wow. Take a look at the shot chart for the Spurs. They're great outside mid-range. Free throws beautiful.
They're 29th in the paint, which is just amazing to me. That you're first in threes, which is great, but it's either threes or mid-range. It's kind of where you're playing this year. And I think that's mostly because I think Kawhi, Pau Gasol, and also Aldridge are such great mid-range shooters.
Going to be another foul on the Spurs. That was Jonathan Simmons impeding the progress. Report on the timeout. Let's check in with Al.
Well, in that last timeout, Jameer Nelson came over and he was telling his teammates, he goes, guys, on offense, they're defensively going to collapse in. Make sure to try and kick the ball out. We need to utilize the perimeter more.
All right, the Nuggets just 1 of 4 from distance. Barton turns at the base, corks it up. No. Rebound David Lee, who's come on. One-time New York Knick, also a Golden State Warrior. Got a ring with them. Patty Mills connects.
Gotta be careful.
Patty Mills, a tremendous scorer from Australia, Canberra to be specific. So the Spurs flexing their muscles a bit. Lead 37-35. We'll be back.
From the Spurs, Nikola Jokic, we've all been talking a lot about him as of late and his production on the court. But even the Nuggets star gets a little starstruck at times. He told me what his first example was like when he met number 21, the Spurs' Tim Duncan, how star-struck he was and how much that moment meant to him.
In San Antonio, and he asked me, "Can you shoot threes?" And I told him a little bit, and then I just made 3, and he, "Oh yeah, you can shoot 3." So that's for me a big thing because Tim Duncan is talking to me, you know. But I'm really like a little bit sad that he's not here anymore. I just like to watching how he play, you know.
And Scott and Chris, my favorite part of that, he said he immediately went to the bench, went to Mike Miller, and he goes, "Can you believe what just happened?"
Yeah, I talked to him after the game and interviewed him and asked him, you know, I said, I saw Duncan talk. He goes, yes, he asked me if I could make that shot. I said, yeah. Tim Duncan talked to me. And he was so excited about that. Then you knew right there, kid appreciates the league, appreciates a little bit of the history, and kind of knew where he was.
Played really well against the Spurs last year. 4 games, he averaged 15 points and 9 rebounds. He had games of 23 and 12, 22 and 7, and 8 and 15. So he is not cowed by anybody in the league.
Yeah, it felt like that game in San Antonio was one of the 20s and kind of his coming out party.
Yeah, I thought so. The first one. Now Kawhi Leonard against Will Barton. Leonard's got a height advantage. Extra pass out to Danny Green. That's off the mark.
That's what you can't give, the extra shots. You get a 3-run down.
Turnover, Spurs.
Get it back, but you can't give San Antonio 2 things. You don't want to play horse with them for 48 minutes. You can't give them extra shots.
Jameer Nelson 4-3. Yes. You saw the graphic. It's a good one. Nuggets started 10 for 10, then went 4 for 12 before making that one there. 39-37. Nuggets are shooting a robust 65%. Spurs are at 61%. On the weak side, Barton collects the rebound.
Love when guards get rebounds.
Yep. Important part of the game. Now Nurk's got to watch the flop. He's in the lane and he travels.
Oh my goodness. Green, as he splits him, watch Green reach in and I thought grab the left arm. There's the split. See the arm in there, grabbing, and somehow they called a travel. I don't know if I'd have called a travel.
Just the first turnover tonight. Make it the second turnover tonight for the Denver Nuggets. Inside Leonard, this is where he's gotten so good. He's a really good post player as Jameer Nelson reaches in and commits the foul. The Nuggets 10 assists tonight, just 2 turnovers so far. It'll be Spurs ball on the side. Interesting note, the Nuggets got 33 in that first quarter. That's the 4th time San Antonio's allowed 33 or more. They've lost all 3 games that they have done that. That's off the Mark Chandler pop. Could use a big game from Will Chandler tonight. Chandler averaging 16 points per game. Leading scorer off the bench for Denver. Inside, jumping over Green, no. And Gasol comes away with a rebound. Once again on his tiptoes. Jameer got his hand on it. 10 to shoot. Nurkic trying to keep the ball away from Kawhi Leonard. Did a pretty good job on it. Now Kawhi dribble drive. Into the corner, Patty Mills wide open, and he missed it. Boy, Nuggets got a big break there. It's like one of those broken plays in football where the quarterback runs around for a while. Scott finally finds the guy. Great block by David Lee. Nuggets a good switch. Now Gasol facing up. Over Nurk. Pretty good shot there. Pau Gasol, one of the 2 of Gasol brothers, Mark the other.
Oh, what a game. Love seeing that for Jamal Murray. He's been offensively really quiet lately. You and I appreciate how hard he continues to work, although not shooting well. I mean, that's about as straight of a drive as you can get. And everybody from San Antonio, 1 reach, 2 reach. There's Gasol with a foul. Green reaches in the reverse layup and a chance for an and 1.
Jamal Murray, 81% free throw shooter so far this year. A little high arch there. He's had double figures just once in his last 10 games. Now he's looking for a breakout game. 42-39 Nuggets. Under the screen on Parker. Kawhi Leonard with it. Nurk coming over to help. Danny Green. Gonna jump over Jameer. He does. Nope. Tipped out. Good play, David Lee. Nuggets in a switch now. Parker.
Well, just pretty good D. You got Murray on your side, but you see Parker able to keep that ball in that right hand.
Parker's got 11 points.
Good play.
In the lane. Scramble. Murray, no. Tip, no. Nuggets miss an opportunity there. A couple of good looks there. Parker hasn't missed a field goal yet. Gasol. And a foul. A good job by Tony Parker and Pau Gasol. They run the pick and roll to perfection. Midway through the second quarter, Spurs by 1.
San Antonio up 1 on the Nuggets, 43-42. Did you know, presented by Stevenson Automotive, the last time The Nuggets face the Spurs without Tim Duncan on the Spurs roster. Who was the leading scorer in that game? Well, we want to congratulate Clara Smith for getting it right. LaFonso Ellis is your answer. The Fawns back in 1997. It's been a while. I think I was 2 years old back in 1997. I don't remember, but the Nuggets won that game 121 to 105. Something tells me if they score 121 tonight, well, I don't want to get too far. You guys take it from there.
Thanks, Vic. Pau Gasol is at the line. As you look at a Duncan fan here in the audience, this is the first free throw tonight for the Spurs. Nuggets have made 8 of 10 on their end. So a traditional three-point play for Pau Gasol. Pau effectively replacing Tim Duncan. He's kind of a Tim Duncan-esque player, wouldn't you say, Scott, in terms of style?
He's not as solid and consistent offensively, but you know, listen, this guy was a rookie of the year and pretty good player.
Jokic is back in. The pass to Murray is beautiful, and Jamal lays it in. Boy, Jamal Murray loves playing with Nikola Jokic, and you can see why, Scott.
Now, if you're not afraid to move, I don't know why any player wouldn't want to just love to play with him. He's so good at delivering the pass over. And good hands by Nikola there.
Now Murray going to ride it in. No, give it to Moutier. Now Murray, wow, lets it rip.
That's confidence, but he needs to slow that down because that's not a horrible shot. It was a horrible execution of the shot. Stop, take your time, get a step closer. No one's out there on you.
It's had a beautiful opportunity for a fast break layup. Now Marcus Aldridge has Darrell Arthur slipped. Well, Aldridge now with 10 points in his 13 minutes. A couple of rebounds. Darrell Arthur going to raise up. He's been hot. He's short that time. And Aldridge has it. Kyle Anderson has come in for the Spurs. Kid from UCLA. And Kawhi Leonard misses. Jokic the rebound. 5th rebound for Jokic to go with 11 points, 2 assists. Jokic underneath to Moutier. Here they try to run it through Jokic here. Someone screen and roll. There it is. Excellent setup. Arthur for 3.
Oh, same thing. That's 2 threes in that corner that were basically uncovered. That one by DA and the one before by Murray. And they just rushed a little bit.
Parker, that's no good. Gallinari snares the rebound.
The old college coach says the older you get, the moment you're in a game, the game slows down. Those are opportunities for the game to slow down.
Gasol's got the block. Spurs the #1 team in the NBA in blocking shots.
It's like no monster shot blocker, but they have that ability, don't they?
Yeah, I think I said they were first. They're actually tied for 3rd, but it's a 5.7 blocks per game, which is pretty good. Let's go back to Pau.
Well, they're in position. This is nothing but a position. He's right there, and that's just a force trying to lay it up over a guy who's 7 foot. And you see, Pau Gasol is still up there by the top of the square, and that's just a tough lane. And you come back in, he has this ability, and this is what he's always been able to do in his career. Analytics say we don't like that, but when you're a 50% shooter at the top of the key, why not?
Spurs on a 9-2 scoring run. You see they're 2nd in points allowed, just under 98. They're 3rd in defending the 3. 7th in field goal percentage.
If you're going to play horse with these guys and go up and go up and go up and go, you can't take a 4-minute break against San Antonio.
Take a moment and look at our schedule presented by Jeep. So a visit at the Thunder on Saturday, come home and then fly to London for a date with the Pacers on Thursday. We're doing all kinds of things over there. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of content there. Nuggets 360 be there. Pacers, it starts at 12 p.m. here, but it will re-air in prime time. Magic, Lakers, Spurs. So challenges continue for the Denver Nuggets. It's 48-44 Spurs. Running the offense through Nikola Jokic. Out to Moutier. He is way short there.
He did the little hesitation, that little hitch in the giddy up, and that's 2 straight threes that have been air balls, and Denver has shot.
Moutier. 32% from three-point land. San Antonio's made 8 of 16. Now 8 of 17. Harris on the run. Challenging Kawhi Leonard, and they're going to jump it up. Kawhi Leonard, if you've ever seen Kawhi up close or seen some video on him, he's got huge mitts.
Right.
Very big hands, long arms, strong.
And, you know, like you said, long arms. Look, he just grabbed it. He watched the ball and then grabbed it.
Harris, Kawhi controls.
He's just a little taller than Harris, and I bet you his wingspan is 5 inches more.
He's got a 6'10" wingspan. Leonard inside, tries to and stolen by Harris. Nice play, Gary Harris. Ginobili giving it the business. Gallinari for 3. Got it. Big shot for Gallinari, and Greg Popovich takes timeout. Gallo bringing the Nuggets to within 1. 2:43 to go. The Rooster from deep. Scott, you're going to be in charge of the pub crawls and things like that?
Yeah, I've got a pub crawl planned Monday and Wednesday. Are you in? Which day?
I'll be there Thursday.
After the game? Okay, we can do that there.
There we go.
5:15 call in the morning, though.
Hey. All right. Back to live. Ginobili off the bench, just a couple of points. Still an effective player. Jokic out. 7 to shoot. Aldridge for 3. And he hits.
Not bad defense all the way around, and just, you know, Spurs. I mean, they're just that kind of a team.
Aldridge is 48%. He shot a limited number, but that's still pretty good. Harris inside. No. Jokic tapping. Boy, he's got the tippy tap down, doesn't he, Scott? The little flick with his wrist. That's the second one.
He's got such good hands and the ability to move the ball and almost a volleyball player play where he wants to, you know. And Chris
Aldridge. And he knocks in another one. 15 for Aldridge now. Aldridge averages 17.5. 7.5 rebounds. Inside, no. Gallo, no.
Gallo keeps challenging Gasol, and a head fake might be in order.
Tony Parker chased out of the key. Nuggets need to get a guard on him. Trying to set up Kawhi Leonard. He steps back for the 3.
Still makes it. Side step to 3 and still made it. I mean, that's a confident shooter when you can do that.
Final minute of play. The Spurs will open up a 7-point lead. U.S. Mortgage's halftime report coming up as Jokic drives in for a deuce. 15 for Jokic, 15 for Aldridge. Jokic has 7 rebounds and a couple of assists. Parker so far tonight, he's got 11.6 assists. And Tony Parker sweeps it up and in.
He's done that quick layup for a lot of years.
Now Moutier tonight, 2 points, 2 assists. He's only taken 3 shots. Gallinari coming in. Jokic another offensive rebound. Harris for 3. Off the heel, goes and gets it. 18 seconds to play. First half. See if the Nuggets can close it up right here. 2 or 3, they'll run screen and roll with Moutier. Jokic, extra pass. Chandler, got it! Execution with 1.7 remaining. Ginobili. And that is the end of the first half. So the Denver Nuggets and the San Antonio Spurs going head-to-head, toe-to-toe at the break. The Spurs lead it by 5. Now, send it to Todd Romero in the studio for the U.S. Mortgage's halftime report. Todd. It's time to find out what the coaches talked about during halftime. Let's go over to Allie Sturm, standing by with Nuggets assistant Ryan Bowen. Allie.
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, Ryan, there seems to be more energy on defense. What do you account this difference to?
Definitely, we just come out with a greater sense of urgency. We've gotten in, picked them up a little bit, been a little more physical with them. Unfortunately, they've hit some tough shots. We definitely feel like we're playing better defense than we have the last couple games, but they're a great mid-range jump shooting team, so we got to do a little bit better job with our contest.
Now, as we've seen, Nikola Jokic is able to do it all. How do you assess his production on the floor when he's out there?
He's been great out there. Not only is he scoring, but he's passing as well. When we run plays through him, good things happen. So guys cut for him, he finds guys, and then when he has an opportunity to score, he scores.
Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you, Ali. One thing I love about Jokic, that he plays well against the big-time guys, Scott.
Yeah. Well, listen, you go back and look who he's played against the last 4 or 5 games. They've been kind of the who's who of big men, haven't they?
Andre Jordan, Towns, and Embiid, Gasol now. Boogie Cousins. Don't want to leave him out. Gary Harris. And his shot's blocked.
Can't fade a layup on 7-footers.
Nuggets guards Harris and Moutier. Just 4 points in that first half. Parker and Green had 16.
Note on that pass, his arm, you can see the ball slipped out of his hand when he tried to throw it. Here comes San Antonio back with a wide open 3. The thing I wrote down, look, at half for Denver, 3-point challenges. You got to challenge all the shooters, and for them, when they have wide open 3-pointers, got to make them.
Gallinari steps back for 3, gets a big challenge. It's off the heel. Yeah, they're the best team at defending the 3 in the league. Reverse layup, that's good.
See, 2 fast breaks. San Antonio is a team, they're such a veteran team. They understand. So, okay, they played well in here in the first half. Can Denver continue to play well? Well, let's keep pushing the tempo and let's see.
Gary Harris with a nice drive for the left-hand lane. Paint time, Nuggets by 12, but the Spurs have been outstanding from beyond the arc. They've made 8 of 17, 47%, and overall, Scott, 57.5%. So quick start for Greg Popovich and company. They lead by 8.
You know, we're doing this documentary. We're working on this documentary about Doug Moe, longtime Nuggets coach. He and Greg Popovich go back. Pop used to play at Air Force, and Doug used to coach here in Denver. And they're paths crossed. You can never get Pop to talk much to the media unless it's a subject matter like Doug Moe. And the two have a lot in common. How they handle their players.
You know, players have great BS antennae, I always say, and they know if you're real or not, and they appreciate him because he was able to do 2 things. He was able to get on them because he wanted it done a certain way. He wanted to win. He's very competitive, but he knew how to love them also. So when the game is over, the game is over. Off the court, the game's not going on, and he knew how to love them and touch them in that way, and that made him real for all his players.
You know, Greg Popovich will never be confused for Doug Moe, but as you can tell, they do have some similarities, guys.
Hey, you and I talked Vic at dinner before the game, and everybody that talks to me about Pop, they say that. So no one sees that. No one sees the off-season 4-year-old birthday parties of the players of his and stuff like that. Remembering anniversaries of guys, and that's the thing that no one sees.
The most respected coach in the NBA, I would say, perhaps by far, as Gallinari double-teamed. Jokic looking for a cutter. Got Harris.
Well, Harris missed it. Didn't really know where he was in the basket. Jokic waited. And this game's starting to get out of touch, and the reason being because San Antonio continues to pressure, and Denver is missing these wide-open shots. Missed a layup just a while ago, missed a wide-open corner 3. You can't, against these guys, miss shots that you're supposed to make.
Spurs score 105.5 per game, which is good for 12th in the NBA. Nuggets started 10 for 10, just 12 of 37. As that ball's poked, and it's going to be out of bounds to the Spurs. Spurs kind of tightening up their defense, Scott, it seems. Someone asked me during the break, how old is Tony Parker? Well, he's 34 years old now. 16th year in the league, as we mentioned. 6,469 career assists. He's 4th among active players. Is he a Hall of Famer, Scott? He's going to be with all the international stuff, too.
Oh, man, that's a great question.
Leonard scores.
Pretty good play by Leonard. He's an amazing player, and I would have said no a handful of years ago, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure. It wouldn't surprise me, and I wouldn't be upset if it was.
Four-time NBA champion, youngest ever to play for the Spurs back when he was 19. Spurs open up a 13-point lead. Denver Nuggets dancers putting on a nice show, getting back to Tony Parker. Tony, most postseason games played. Would you have thought that, Scott? 213.
Oh, it says something right there, huh?
Yeah, more than Dwayne Wade, Pierce, the whole gang. He made his debut in 2001, October 30th. And that's going to be a foul on Kawhi Leonard. And Leonard's got 13 points. He's maybe the most unassuming player in the league. He doesn't say boo or peep. All he does is play ball.
I went and talked to him.
You did?
I don't remember if it was rookie year or the second year of the league. And I went and told him about you. And I said, listen, my partner went to San Diego State. You're one of his favorite.
Are you serious?
I'm being very serious.
You're giving me the business.
No, I'm being very serious. As a San Diego State guy, loves you to death. All he does is talk about you. He said, watch this guy. It might have been his rookie year. I said, he thinks you're just amazing. And I was really getting props. He goes, thanks. That was my whole conversation. I was gushing about you and about him, and he goes, thanks. Listen, he is. I know you got LeBron James. Take LeBron James out of the mix for a while and name a better forward in the league.
Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Maybe those three. Those three are the elite, don't you think?
Yeah, and the strength of what he does, though, I mean, he's as good a defense as the other two, right?
Better.
Okay.
Defensive player of the year twice, right? It's a two-shot foul, by the way. They reviewed it.
He's at least the second best shooter between the three.
Pardon me?
He's probably the second best shooter between those three, Durant, LeBron.
Maybe.
I mean, I think he's a better shooter than LeBron. I don't think he's better than Durant.
I tell you, LeBron, every time I watch him now, he's knocking down threes. He's knocking down mid-range. Yeah. It's a whole...
Well, I tell you what, those three, but that'd be a good argument, wouldn't it?
Well, it's always a different, let's get back to the game for a second. We'll talk about it in a moment. Aldridge trying to pump his way in. Here he comes. Little shot, no. Off the far side. Should be Nuggets ball, yes. Always difficult was what I want to say, Scott, is when you vote for all NBA first team. Probably two forwards. LeBron, Durant, and Kawhi Leonard. There are three guys.
And I almost think all NBA. Just vote 5 guys.
All right.
You know? I mean, the NBA didn't let you, but it'd almost be better, wouldn't it?
Maybe. Once again, the backdoor cut, and Harris, no, but a foul.
Well, I tell you what, the scouting report and the teams know how well they play together and cut. Gary, as he cuts the basket, Aldridge just left Darrell Arthur to try to cover. Watch where Aldridge is going to come. I mean, he's right in here. I'm trying to draw. I can't draw. There you go. He slides all the way over. Parker gets the foul.
You know, I remember you being a big proponent of a guy that passes to a player that is going for a layup. If he makes 2 free throws, you would give him an assist. The Scott Hastings rule.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. But what happens if he only makes 1 of 2?
That's where you got to get into like that. That's where you got to get into points, I guess.
So he doesn't get an assist for that. Got to have your teammates help you out. Tony Parker, 15 points, 7 assists. He's made 7 of 8 shots.
Hawks for Denver got to pick it up. Harris, 5. Moody, 8-2. And you look at Parker, 15 and 6 for Green.
Kawhi Leonard. Now Moody. Gary Harris, the trailer. Off the heel, Parker's got it.
Do a stat, they follow an uncontested shot. And that, my unofficial mark, is about the 5th uncontested shot Denver has not been able to drop. That's when you lose contact with these, as Dan Hissel said at halftime, one of the 3 best teams in the league.
Another backdoor cut. Spurs hustling. Moutier, no good. Great rebound by Darrell Arthur. Jokic crosses. Moutier extra pass. Arthur for 3. That's good. It's amazing how he is improved his three-point shooting in the last 2 or 3 years. Michael Malone has given him a boost of confidence from beyond the arc. 11 points for Durrell. Aldridge still with 15 points. Jokic the same. Now Kawhi Leonard, 5 to shoot, in and out. 70-61. Moutier spinning in the lane, blocked by Danny Green. Now Kawhi Leonard looking for help. Green's wide open.
Boy, that should be a foul on Aldridge on the back of DA. Aldridge saying that he was holding his arm. Denver will get the benefit of it. DA even answers it, that on him, and DA's laughing at Aldridge now.
Nuggets had 14 assists and just 3 turnovers in the first half. That was a solid stat for them. Gallinari. Got it back over the top. Nope. And Danny Green.
Not shooting the way they were in that first half.
Nope.
I got him 2 for 8. Is that right?
You sense a confidence drain here, Scott.
2 for 9. Yeah. Something. Listen, they played well in the first half, but now one of our keys we did with the Jumbotron before is it's got to be 48. You can't have lulls and beat the great teams in Denver or in the NBA, the San Antonios, the Golden States, the Cleveland. All lull basketball.
Parker. And Parker knocks it in. Tony Parker continues to sizzle. It's an 11-point Spurs lead now. He's made 8 of 9, now 9 of 10, and 19 points. Gallinari on the dribble drive. Tough shot, no. It's trying to get the foul call. They didn't get it. Only 4 teams this season have shot over 50% against the Spurs. And another bucket. Tony Parker turning back the clock. Parker's played 21 minutes, and he is leading 4 Spurs in double figures and a 13-point lead.
What I love about them on offense and on defense, there are 5 guys operating as one at all times. You know, there's no independent contractors out there. There's not one guy doing his own thing. They're always tied at the hip, 5 guys on a string, and that's what I really respect about them most is that, you know, everything they do it together, and they do it very well, and there's a lot of trust on the floor, and that's something that we aspire to.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs defensively, last, well, 22 straight seasons, they have held opponents under 100. NBA's longest streak ever. How about that? Not one year have they allowed opponents. Yeah.
The interesting thing would be is what was their average? You know, what did they average during that entire 22 years too? And I guarantee it was plus 100, which has got to make them one of the best teams, especially 22 years, as far as the plus minus goes on their team. Point differential. Listen, I said in the open, I think we were talking about it with the 24/7 thing. They're the iconic franchise in the NBA right now.
I would agree. Jokic wide open. He's got it. He's coming in on Gasol. Up and under. Let's check in with Allie.
Well, in that last timeout, there was a lot with Emmanuel Moutier in terms of guarding Tony Parker. Tony Parker now with 21 points. Wes Unseld was saying he wants Emmanuel to stay on top of him. He does not want Tony to go under him. He wants him to stay on top. He said, get aggressive, put those hands up, do not let him buy you.
Easier said than done as Aldridge works his way inside. Oh, and a foul too. This might take Malone over the edge here.
This was a don't talk trash to me phone call, or I mean foul call. I thought fouled him, so I'm not going to say he didn't. Watch the little reach in as he starts to go up right there.
Got his hand on the ball.
But to me, I can see the foul, but the foul wasn't called till right there. And that's what gets coaches upset, whether anybody wants to believe it or not. The late call to see whether you make it or not, or the foul call that's a second or two after the make, then you hear the whistle. Those are things that drive coaches crazy.
Tuesday night, the Spurs hammered the Raptors 110-82. Raptors are playing their 6th road game in 12 days. Spurs shot 55%. It's interesting when you talk to Malone as Chandler converts. He said the Spurs made the Raptors look like a JV team on Tuesday night. That's how well they played.
Kind of doing that in the third quarter here. Just a 10th point for Denver in the third.
Spurs an outstanding road team, 16-3. They won their first 13 road games since they're 3-3. They are the best road team in the league. Another jumper.
See, and that's contested.
Are raining.
You live with those. I mean, you have to live with those. I mean, that's a good contested shot.
Jokic lost the handle, knocked out.
Oh, wow.
Parker's got it.
Gallo just kind of faded out. I thought he could have got that rebound.
Aldridge, and he's fouled. So Marcus Aldridge starting to go to work here.
Well, like I said, you got to play a 48-minute game against these guys, and you can't be satisfied. You can't say, oh, okay, good, and then rest. Just lost the ball right here, and then watch it kick out. Gallo's backing up.
Got a final score as the Houston Rockets beat the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, 118-116. Westbrook had 49. He made 8 3-pointers, but the difference tonight, Nene, 2 made free throws with a 1/10 of a second remaining. How about Nene stepping up, going to the line, knocking in a couple? And we will see them on Saturday. Maybe Westbrook will be exhausted. I doubt it. He never seems to get tired, does he? He might be the finest conditioned athlete in the league. Well, what do you think about that for a second? And let me know your decision.
Well, listen.
Does he ever get tired? You ever get hurt?
Does Steph Curry ever get tired? Ever get hurt?
Yeah. He got hurt. He had ankle problems. He's had some
3 or 4 years
issues.
ago.
Well, yeah,
Westbrook missed half a year a couple years ago too.
That was Durant, I think.
Westbrook too.
You just don't like the Westbrook.
I love Westbrook.
No, you don't love him. Jameer Nelson, skip it to Gallinari. Dribble drive, strong drive. Whoa! Gallinari.
He went up a couple times and got shots blocked by Gasol, just kind of trying to lay it up. He wasn't trying to lay it up that one.
No, he sure wasn't. Gallinari with 13 points, but the Spurs just keep making jump shot after jump shot. We told you that they're the best mid-range team in the league, and you're seeing why. They just don't miss.
Anti-analytic shot of the century.
Yeah. So analytics, you're saying, doesn't like the mid-range shots.
They say it's the worst shot in basketball. The contested two-pointer, they say is the worst shot in basketball.
Aldridge has the last 8. Off the hands, Jameer Nelson. Nuggets have 3-on-1, it looks like. And it's taken away by Ginobili. Now Danny Green. Missed it. Gallinari's got it. That's the second advantage that the Nuggets have had. And Gallinari spins it up. And Gallinari gets a technical, and he's mad.
Now, he did get bumped. Steve Anderson didn't want to call it. He said, I don't see it. See if he gets bumped right there. He thought he got bumped. Not much. Hands on him, but not much. He still made it. That is more of a frustration call than the rest of the quarter. I mean, there is contact.
How did that ball go in? Well, Aldridge will shoot the tech. Malone lobbing to Bill Kennedy. Maybe thinks his players aren't getting a fair shake. Bill Kennedy, a
great official.
Yeah, I think he's a very good official. Good at explaining what's going on. He can't ref for 3 of them. The Spurs will have it.
I think one of the top 10 for sure refs in the NBA. I think he's fantastic. Doesn't mean I don't get on him, or if he makes a mistake, I ain't gonna point it out. I think he's got the right demeanor to be an NBA official.
3 minutes to go in the third. Can the Nuggets get back into it? Patty Mills is at the point now.
Let's see if this fires Denver up. They missed the technical. They missed the technical.
Inside, and Aldridge is just too tough. He was a much bigger scorer when he was in Portland before he came to the Spurs, but he kind of meshed into the Spurs way, hasn't he? Hand off to Chandler, and Chandler knocks it in.
He was a great scorer against Denver.
Oh my God.
Basically his whole career.
Career high, 44 against Denver back in 2014. Nuggets bench doing a job, but the Spurs starters finally a miss by Aldridge. Nuggets have it down by 13. Jokic got another assist on that last play. He's got another double-double, his 11th of the season.
This ball, that's Chandler. You got to find a way to get Chandler to rock.
Yeah. And that's going to be a pushing foul on Dwayne Dedmon.
Fouls on number 3, Dwayne Dedmon. That's his second, team foul. Checking in the game, number 27, Jamal Murray, and number 23, Yusuf Nurkic.
Jamal Murray comes in with Yusuf Nurkic.
See Nurk kind of blocking it. See the arms around the waist, and that's what the foul is, the arm around the waist.
Just the 4th team foul, so no free throws yet. Spurs historically a very low fouling team. Not foul much. Good defense with their hands up.
Duncan never fouled, did he?
Not to our recollection. Into the lane, Chandler rattles out. Kawhi Leonard has 13 points tonight. He's made 3 of 6 3-pointers. Guarded by Jamal Murray now. Kawhi in the lane. No good. Dedmon no good. Nuggets trying to clear, and it's their basketball.
Nuggets ball. Checking in the game, number 16,
Pau Gasol coming back in. Spurs overall lead the series 111-65. Nuggets, however, here at Denver, a 46-42 edge. As here comes Kyle Anderson, 3rd-year man from UCLA. Seconds to go in the 3rd. Get it to single digits. Chandler's got it. Here he comes. Setting up Barton. 4-3. Gasol rebounds. Aldridge had the last 11. He got tired. He has to sit down. Setting up Ginobili for 3. Ginobili, more points as an NBA reserve in his career than as a starter.
Best 6-man in basketball since Havlicek?
Well, he's certainly one of the best of all time, I would say. Havlicek certainly set the standard. Kawhi Leonard. The Spurs are carving up the Nuggets defense. Now it's an 18-point lead.
And that's the kind of things that drive your coach absolutely crazy, because that's just drive to the basket and you let the guy go. I mean, you don't give any physicality to it. Where's the tap? He's going to go left hand. Just stand there, wave. No one slides in. It's an easy layup.
We talked about that early, about the Detroit Pistons, how they used to do that. Deliver a hard foul if they were needed. Murray. And Gasol the rebound. Throws it away. Barton coming in. Score it. And a foul. Good play by Will Barton.
Good take. Love when Barton's going straight at it. He's going to get Gasol kind of getting those arms up. Goes around him. Not a lot of contact. Gasol gets called. He's not real happy.
4 games against the Spurs a year ago. Barton averaged 12 points. Just 5 tonight. He's shooting 44%. The Spurs at 56.7%. Final 16 seconds of the period. Shot clock is 3 seconds ahead of the game clock. Kawhi Leonard by Chandler. Chandler blocked it from behind. Nice work. 7 seconds. And Ginobili the foul.
He's trying to get it to Murray. Murray was out front. Barton's trying to find a way to get to him. Oh, he took it to the thing.
Reminiscent of the game-saving block.
I think they're going to see if this is a clear path. takes it to the backboard, which is legal. Look how high Wilson Chandler got up. Well, you got Jamal is wide open. Did he have possession and was ready to throw it? We'll check and see if there was possession in the foul, while there was a clear path for an easy basket.
There's LaMarcus Aldridge. He's been the big man for the Spurs tonight. 26 points. He made 11 of 16. 3 or 4 free throws. They're going to say common foul. The Spurs tonight from beyond the arc, 10 of 22. They're 45.5%. We take a look at our Toyota report. Right now, they're the 4th best three-point shooting team in history. 41.4. The Hornets team back in 90, 96, 97. Spurs do so many things well, Scott. What don't they do well?
You know what? That's a good question. They don't seem super speedy, but they sure are quick up the floor.
Seem like it.
Like, I don't think they have a blazer speed-wise, but Kawhi Leonard's as quick as any forward there is.
We're looking at Davis Bertans, who has come on. He's from Latvia, 24 years old, a second-round pick in 2011 of Indiana. He made the team as a rookie. Actually was acquired in the same trade that brought the Spurs Kawhi Leonard. Ginobili, nope. Nurkic rebounds. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. So after 3, the San Antonio Spurs, led by LaMarcus Aldridge, they lead by 13. You're watching Altitude Sports, your home for Nuggets basketball all season long. Denver. It is Western night here at Pepsi Center. Stock show in town, of course. I'm Chris Marlowe with Scott Hastings, Ali Sturm, and Vic Lombardi. Well, after Gallo picked up the technical, the Nuggets outscored the Spurs 9-7. They still lost the quarter. Trail by 13 as we open it up here in the 4th. Good hedge out by Nurkic, and he commits the foul. Time now for our Key Bank key quarter. Yusuf Nurkic picking up his first foul.
Big 13. He almost played when he played San Antonio as if you're on the road. So you're in touch on the, against San Antonio in the 4th. We're playing a 4th quarter game.
Over the top, Leonard again.
But somebody got to do something special and hot. And Denver, once again, has to figure a way to contest guys.
Fabulous shooting. Of course, the Spurs have one of the best shooting coaches in the league, in Chip England. One time Denver Nuggets coach back when he was a youngster. He has done some amazing things, particularly with Tony Parker, with Kawhi Leonard. That was a project.
Tony Parker's the biggest one, I think.
You think so?
Well, I do, because Tony Parker, I'm telling you, couldn't shoot the first few years in the league. Couldn't shoot a lick. Now, I mean, look what he shoots for the 3.
Was not a great shooter when he came into the league either. Parker's made 10 of 11 shots tonight. Maybe you are right. Barton in the lane. He gets blocked. 92-77. Now Kawhi Leonard, he's fouled.
Kawhi Leonard, you know this, San Diego almost played the power forward position at San Diego State.
When you watch them warm up, Kawhi Leonard with Chip England all the time. We're talking about form. There's Chip right back there in the blue. Time Palisades High School, went to Duke. One of the great shooters at Duke. Played overseas for a while. And has gotten into the coaching ranks. And he is a valued member of Greg Popovich's staff. Talk shooting. He worked with Grant Hill early in Grant Hill's career, kind of resurrected his jump shot.
Sitting next to CSU great Becky Hammond. One of the great all-time great players in her career too, pro and college.
Double drive, intercepted.
That's just that's playing in traffic and blind throwing to nobody that's open. So trying to get back in games. Turnovers like that don't help him.
Jamal Murray has come on, as has Jonathan Simmons. There's Murray. 5 points for Murray. Coach Malone has been trying to find spots for Murray where he can get more minutes, get more playing time. Maybe this is it. And Denver has to take time out. So the Spurs lengthen their lead to 19. That is the biggest lead of the night. The guys from Texas. Welcome back inside. You see the Bay family in the lower left hand. They are still here, and they are the extended family, all the sweaters. Trying to figure out how the Nuggets could somehow rescue this game, Scott. Is there a way to do it? Is there a formula?
Yeah, you can't have unforced turnovers. First of all, you have to make uncontested shots when you get them because they're infrequent. Missed 7 tonight already. There's another shot, uncontested. That's an uncontested shot. You've got to make those.
Jamal Murray fighting for the rebound, scoops it out.
And you got to battle. You know what? You're not going to come back against anybody unless you battle.
Pass intended for Murray, intercepted by Nurkic. Chandler. And Chandler scores on a nice drive. Wilson Chandler tonight, he's got 9 points. Only 3 Nuggets in double figures. It's a chore to score against the Spurs. Spurs wanted to travel, they didn't get it.
Had 33 in the first quarter, so that's
and pretty good anticipation by Manu Ginobili.
Ginobili got set. Harris tries to move to the other side. There is contact.
He's been doing that for a long time. One of the first great international floppers.
Well, he's been a good flopper. He got a little hit right there.
Nice curl off the screen.
Really good pass by Gasol. Look at the big man doing things.
Yeah, cutting tight and getting the nice assist. Gasol's always been known as a terrific passer. He's got 3 assists tonight. Now Gary Harris. And Harris knocks it in.
Yeah, Gasol just like his brother Mark. He's more of a finesse guy than Mark, although Mark for his size has got the finesse.
Yep.
Both of them are just such smart basketball players.
And very unselfish.
Yeah, and I know you've gotten a chance to watch them internationally play. It's fun when they're on the court together.
Kawhi Leonard continues to chip away. He's got 20 now. Aldridge with 26, Parker with 21. So the starters are handing a beating to the Denver Nuggets starters tonight. Chandler over to Harris, 2 in a row from 3. No. And a nice rebound by Ill Will. And Greg Popovich, I believe, wants timeout this time. So we'll take a break. We'll step aside. We're coming right back. All that good stuff. 8.5 minutes to go. Nuggets down by 16.
Back in time, Pepsi. Nuggets down 16 to the San Antonio Spurs. And Rocky put some money in a fan's pocket by hitting that behind that back shoulder shot. Probably the only shot so far tonight Parker hasn't made. Of course, he made one right there from 1 foot. That doesn't count. It's not a half-court one. Tony Parker, guy came in the league, couldn't make a shot, and yet tonight here he is, 10 of 11, 21 points. He's our Nashville Hot Shot Chart, brought to you by KFC.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, the thing that everybody talks about, and I have no idea where the off button. Corey, help me with the off button here. There it is. Well, we still haven't found the off button. Clear that, please.
Taco Girl to the rescue.
But anyway, 10 of 11 And all against what analytics are teaching people in the NBA. I mean, it's all mid-court jump shots.
It's not mid-range friendly, that's for sure. Chandler with a dribble drive. Nurk's got it and spins it up and in. So the Nuggets cut the lead to 14. Not over yet, just under 8 minutes. Plenty of time.
Oh, plenty of time.
Nuggets get serious here. Kawhi Leonard gets Gary Harris, spins right around him. Wide open is Gasol. They left him alone and he knocks in the triple. Now Gasol, he's only shooting 46% from 3 coming into tonight. Now Gasol with 13.7 rebounds, 4 assists. It's off the mark, Nurk after it, and it's tapped by himself, to himself, Marcus Aldridge. The Spurs have such great ball. Nuggets are getting there on the offensive end.
They're unselfish. Now, #1 in the league in corner threes. Watch the court. Let's see who's out there. Gasol just goes. You got 3 Nuggets right there in the middle of the lane in the paint. And then once Nurk leaves his guy, to go up, it forces Chandler to stay inside low under the basket.
Yeah.
See, and there's a discipline to defense that you have to maintain. One of the first things that I was taught in the NBA by Hubie Brown, with a pretty good defensive coach, was bigs don't help up. You don't help up the court.
Yeah.
Let the smaller guys, let the big stay a little lower.
Well, Kawhi Leonard, originally from Los Angeles, played 2 seasons at San Diego State. 15th overall pick in 2011. Had another great game. Jameer Nelson's pass.
That was behind the back.
I'm not sure that was a kick. He just seemed to throw it off the heel. Let's see if there's an intentional move here. It's got to be intentional. No, that's not a kick.
Leg,
No, so it's going to be Spurs basketball. It has to be an intentional act. Jameer Nelson tonight, 3 points, 4 assists. Shot just 1 for 5. Gasol over the top. He's just too big, isn't he?
Now you got mismatches, and you got Chandler going against a 7-footer. Gasol's been in this league, 15 going 16 years. Scored a whole lot of points and a whole lot bigger guys than Wilson Chandler.
Spurs have their biggest lead of the night, 21 points. Gary Harris floated up. No, Gasol rebounds. Love the way Gasol rebounds, Scott. Once he grabs it, he never brings it down. He just holds it up there, waves it a little bit, draws a foul or an outlet pass.
He's as fundamentally sound as anybody. As we take a look at our key stats, and let's just compare starters' points. When you're down 40, 38, you don't win games. And if your starters are minus 38, minus 25, I mean, it's so much more pressure everywhere else. That's with, Green really not playing much or not doing much tonight. He's only got 6.
Spurs were 67-15 last year. They finished 2nd in the West. They swept the Grizzlies in the first round, then were eliminated by OKC in the Western Conference semis, 4-2. So they're looking to get back this year as Nikola Jokic comes back in. Nurkic probably done 4 tonight, 7 points, 5 rebounds for Nurk, made 3 out of 4. Jokic, his 11th double-double. He's got 17 points and 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Nice pass by Moutier. I'd like to see more of that. Penetrate into the paint, feed the big guys. Let the big dogs eat. 108-88. Now Kawhi Leonard going to try it again. Kawhi listed at 6'7", 230. Nuggets after him. Gasol.
Gasol just going to drive, gets by DA. See, arm there.
Spurs ball out of bounds. They've got 8 to shoot. It's all going up? No. Gasol, and It looked like he lost it out of bounds. Did it Nugget touch it? Maybe.
Jokic slid over to help. Now you got 0.7 of a second.
Aldridge to beat the clock. No, Jokic has. They're going to say 24-second shot clock violation. Good look at Greg Popovich, graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy, 3-time NBA Coach of the Year. Well, he's got a lot of regular season wins, 7th most all time. Born in East Chicago, Indiana. Pop. Dejounte Murray has come on. He's a rookie from Washington, played 1 season there with 29th pick. How about Jokic? Another bucket. Inside Leonard, lowering the boom. Jokic dumping in. Arthur can't shoot. Pretty good Spurs defense. Boy, they collapse fast, don't they, Scott? Moutier on the reverse. Nuggets still with good ball movement. Nuggets have 44 assists now. 36 made baskets, which is good. Murray on the run, throw it up and in. Everybody getting into the act for the San Antonio Spurs. Arthur. Gasol, his 9th rebound.
I keep saying it. You're shooting against a great team. San Antonio shoots the ball top to bottom as well as Golden State. I'm not sure their tops are better than Golden State, but top to bottom, they got a lot of guys that can really shoot.
Well, they're number 2 to the Warriors in overall.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. And then you get Kawhi Leonard who can go up there and with that big hand just switch. How about a switch in the air to the left?
Yeah, who can do that and hang on to the ball? Big mitts of Kawhi Leonard. So Gary Harris goes out.
Big mitts and long arms.
A tremendous drive.
But when you're trying to shoot against San Antonio, I keep harping on this. You got to be makers and not just shooters. Yeah. Denver, seriously, and then I know there's a website somewhere you can go to that'll talk about uncontested shots, and they call uncontested within 4 feet, I believe. Is that what it is? Something like that. I bet Denver's at least 10 or 11 that are uncontested misses. And even if you just made half of those, 50%, you know, if they're uncontested, I would think you got to have a higher percentage of make than miss.
Well, the Nuggets from 3-point range just under 36. They made 18 threes in the last game, but just 6 so far tonight. Of course, a very different defense. Murray backs up. Three-pointer is no good. Murray's 3-point percentage has dipped to 34% on the season. And a timeout with 4:08 remaining. How would you, well, we'll talk about it when we come back. San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich leading 114-92. Nuggets trailing the Spurs. It's time now to take a look at our drive of the game presented by Cooney Lexus. There have been some nice ones tonight. Who did we pick? Gallinari. And he had a full head of steam, and he was steaming when he made his way to the bucket right around Danny Green. Our drive of the game presented by Cooney Lexus. Gallinari 15 points tonight. Nuggets with 92 as a total. Here are the numbers for Gallo. Mike Miller has come on. You know, I asked him once about coming in late and playing with the youngsters, and he said, I like it. I like to kind of set them up. That's my goal when I come in, is to make it easy for them and get them moving. The Nuggets get the ball on offense.
Look at him talking out there too, dog.
Yep. Anderson, little fade away. That's no good. Moutier in the lane. Hang. Nice work. Poise there. A delay. Moutier tonight, 6 points, 5 assists in 25 minutes. He's 3 of 7. And Dwayne Dedmon throws it down. He played for Orlando last year. Signed a 2-year, $6 million deal with the Spurs in July.
That's how you fight through a screen right there, isn't it? Simmons.
He's a good player. He doesn't even play much. Alonzo G, no. Nurk has it. What's he doing? Moutier. Got it. Nurk was right under the basket and didn't shoot it. And the Spurs answer at their end. Kyle Anderson, an interesting talent. Nicknamed Slow-Mo. And it's an offensive foul.
When you talk about after the last game, we're talking about defense. That's how you fight over a screen. Now, let's say this: Murray's got to run tighter.
Yeah.
You can't come off a screen where you're allowing space for a guy to get in there. We used to, when you teach that, it was shoulder to shoulder they go, so you don't give any room. So just because you're getting pushed, you can't allow yourself to be pushed outside of that shoulder to shoulder.
Murray blocked by Moutier. Spurs scoring tonight. Aldridge 28, Leonard 24, Gasol 17 and 9, Parker 21 and 9. He made 10 of 11 shots. Ginobili with 11. Inside lane is good. How good would you say the Spurs are to some of the other teams who we've seen so far? Golden State comes to mind. Clippers, we played them twice.
I think the Clippers are more dynamic. 1 through 4, I think San Antonio is better 4 through 8. You know, 4 through 9 maybe. They're both great, well coached. They both have great superstars. I think the difference is Golden State also has it's just a faster team, it feels like.
The Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors. I mean, listen, there's not a whole lot separating San Antonio and Golden State. And Houston, Houston's having one of those surprise years also.
And the Cavs, they've been hit hard by injuries now. But
well, I will say
quite
this,
a group of teams.
Here's why you like San Antonio. They have probably the most unsexy starting unit in basketball. I mean, there's nothing in there that you go, ooh. I mean, Curry, LeBron, Harden, all these other teams. And Kawhi Leonard, you mentioned
he's not sexy?
Well, I love him. But,
okay.
You never hear commercials with him. He doesn't talk. You don't see specials on him on SportsCenter or anything like that. He's just the most unassuming superstar in the NBA. He's a starting 5 all-star. He's an all-pro caliber player, and you never hear anything about him. No one ever says or talks or does anything about him.
Yeah, doesn't like the fanfare. What we've been told, the articles, and the Nuggets turn it over. So Jokic done for the night. Nikola Jokic finishes with 19 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. The Joker made 8 of 10 from the field and 3 of 4 from the line. Gallinari 15, Arthur with 13. Don't forget, Toyota Locker Room Report coming up next. We'll hear from head coach Michael Malone. And we'll get some post-game sound on this one. This will be the 4th consecutive game the Nuggets have allowed 120 or more points. Thus the concern about defense 2 nights ago for head coach Michael Malone.
55% shooting to 45%. That's after Denver was shooting, what, 72 after the first quarter.
Yeah, the Nuggets 33 points in the first quarter, Scott. Yeah. It's gone downhill from then. 33, 20, 24. Struggling here. Might not make it to 100. I mentioned the Nuggets have scored 100 or more in 10 straight games. Jamal Murray. Shaking and baking. Moutier. And the final 40 seconds in this one. Anderson. That's good. A mid-range barrage of shots falling for the Spurs tonight. Spurs are going to win their 29th game against 7 losses. They'll go to 17-3 on the road. 23-2 when scoring 100 or more. Spurs with 5 in double figures. The third oldest team in the league. Looking kind of spry tonight as Murray knocks in a 3. 5 seconds remaining. So that will do it. The Denver Nuggets lose their 4th game in a row. As I mentioned, they give up more than 120 in all of them. Spurs, they look like the real deal, Scott Hastings.
They are the real deal, and they just do it through being solid and fundamentally sound. I don't know if they're the best team in the league, but they may be the most fundamentally sound team in the league.
Nuggets record drops to 14-22 overall. The good guys are now 7-11 at home. It's a final from Pepsi Center. The Spurs 127, the Nuggets 99. Now let's send it to Todd Romero in the studio for the Toyota Locker Room Report. Todd.